so yet again, I'm very fucking excited. I am making edible brownie batter dough today, and I'm very fucking excited. This is the recipe I used for my fudgy brownies. I just added sour cream in place of the egg and cooked my flour to make it edible. So we're gonna get started. I'm very fucking excited. All right. So what I've got is 5 tablespoons of softened butter, and then I've got 4 ounces of melted semi-sweet chocolate. I have mostly semi-sweet in here with a little bit of milk. Sometimes just I like a little bit of milk chocolate in my brownie batter to add to the semi-sweet flavor. And then I've also got a half a cup of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of sour cream. I'm going to use just a little bit, about 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, and what I've got in here is a tablespoon of warm water mixed with a 1/2 teaspoon of instant espresso powder. You can also use just like a tablespoon of coffee if you want to. I like to add instant espresso powder to chocolate brownies and cakes. It doesn't really add a coffee flavor as long as you only add a little bit. It more so brings out the flavor of the chocolate and enhances it. It's a really good complement to chocolate, so I like to put that in my brownie recipe. I've also got a 1/2 cup of cooked flour. Again, I cook this for 1 minute and 15 seconds, stirring every 15. And with this amount of flour, this is going to be just a little bit thicker than a regular brownie batter. I wanted it to be a little thicker so it would hold together better, but I didn't want it to be so thin that it was going to be kind of soupy or maybe hard to store. Again, when you put this in the fridge, it's going to harden up a little bit. This batter will still be soft when you take it out of the fridge, but it'll be formed, and you won't have to necessarily put it in a bowl. You might be able to just wrap it in some maybe some parchment paper or something like that. And then I've got about a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips that I'm going to stir in there as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is cream together my butter and sugar. I'm so excited about this. I love brownie batter. It tastes amazing, and making an edible version is just awesome. So, cream together my butter and sugar. And again, even though I leave my butter out to get it room temperature, I still like to soften it just barely in the microwave a bit before I work with it. And it just makes it easier to cream it together with the sugar. Yeah, that already looks pretty good. Alright, so next I'm going to add most of my other wet ingredients, the sour cream. And then I'll add my salt. Just a little bit. And this is a half batch. I'm going to make a little bit because I'm not going to keep it, I'm going to give it away. But if you, as always, I write the ingredient list and amounts in the description box below. But if you want to do more than this, just double everything. I'm also going to add my teaspoon of vanilla. Just a hair more. Okay. I'm going to put in my cocoa powder. And I'm going to put in my warm water espresso mixture. Got that. I'm just going to work these together first. Oh, this smells great. Fuck. Now I'm going to add in my melted chocolate. a feeling this is going to be really good. Like, maybe a little too good, but oh well. It is what it is. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. Now I'm going to add in my ½ cup of cooked flour. I have a bad feeling this is like the worst, best idea I've ever had. And I know obviously I'm not the only motherfucker who came up with the idea of making edible brownie batter, but when it popped in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do that. Who doesn't love brownie batter? I mean, shit, like everybody eats brownie batter off of the fucking spoon. And now you can eat all you want because it's edible shit. Alright. I'm alright. I'll be alright. Okay. And this is what it looks like. It's just a little bit thicker than a regular brownie batter. It's about that thick. It's kind of like a thick mousse consistency. So just for like a little color and a little texture and a little extra, I'm gonna add the chocolate chips. Just to make it look cool, kind of. It's got little chunks in it. Oh man, this is gonna be a problem. I already know it. Alright, and this is what the final product looks like. Now I've got to give it a try. Just a little bit. I got a little chip and a little dough batter in there. Fuck. Yeah, that just tastes like brownie batter. As I always say, substituting the sour cream in place of the egg really adds a good richness that you're missing when you don't use an egg in an edible cookie dough or batter recipe. Milk does not add as much richness. That's why I decided to go the sour cream route, and I think it makes a huge difference. So anytime you're trying to make an edible cookie dough, you can legit look at a cookie dough recipe. For every egg that you're supposed to have in there, substitute it with a tablespoon and a half of sour cream, and then just cook the flour, leave out the baking powder and baking soda, and you will have a pretty good copycat of a legit tasting edible cookie dough that tastes, it tastes just like regular cookie dough or batter. So yeah, that's good shit. That tastes just like brownie batter. I really like this brownie recipe too, like when I bake it. And when I bake it, when I have like an egg and the regular flour in it, it's a really good flavor, especially with the instant espresso powder. You don't taste the coffee really. You don't taste it at all, but it enhances the chocolate flavor. It brings it out a little bit more and it complements it. If you want to have like a coffee brownie batter or coffee brownies, instead you could do like, instead of a ½ a teaspoon of instant espresso, you could do a whole teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half if you want to get an actual coffee chocolate mixture flavor in there. That's really good. That's a little bit dangerous in my opinion. That's very dangerous in my opinion. Shit, I gotta get that out of my house like yesterdoodle. But, and I'm going to. I'm legit gonna throw it out the window if I can't find anybody to take it. So anyway, it's a really good recipe. If you like brownie batter, I'm sure you'll love it. It tastes exactly like brownie batter, and it's a really good quality brownie batter recipe on its own in itself. So if you make it, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And yeah, that's it. Have a good one. I'm gonna go wrap this up and try to give it to someone like now.
All right, bye.